Ready.
Yes, I will introduce first and start. Just wait for a moment. So, very good evening to you all. Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya Ausa, District Maharashtra State, organized a world record race too. Today is 270th day of the series. And the keynote speaker for today's session is Honorable Dr. Bornali Dutta ma'am. First of all, I welcome to you, madam, for the dais.
Next time.
I welcome the chief organizer and the principal of Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya, Ausa, Honorable Dr. M.M. Better, sir. I welcome faculty members of college and all the participants. The topic for this presentation is importance of time series analysis. Now, this topic is going to present, I have mentioned today's keynote speaker, Dr. Bornali Madam. She is studying as an assistant professor for the statistics and also head of the Department of Statistics. The college, Gargaon, Gargaon College, Simaluguri, Assam. So, with this brief introduction, now I request to you, madam, please start your presentation on the topic importance of series analysis. You are most welcome.
Hello. I am audible.
Yes, madam.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for nicely introduce me. Respected principal and chief organizer of the prestigious national level record series webinar, Dr. Becker sir, IQAC coordinator of Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya, respected faculty members, esteemed participants. Today, I will deliver a lecture on the topic Importance of Time Series Analysis. Sir, it is visible?
Yes, ma'am, it will take here.
Okay.
Visible, ma'am.
Is it visible? Now it is visible? Yes, sir. Now it is visible or not? From my side, it is, I have. Okay. Now it is okay or not? Okay. So in our day-to-day life, we come across many informations. Suppose we are gathering always information, or we have come across different types of informations. So when we collect information in a systematic way, in statistics it is called data. So different types of data in our life, that means different types of information we have gained in our day-to-day life. Some informations are numerically expressible, which are called quantitative data. Suppose someone asks me, what is your age, or what is your height or weight? I give a actual fixer. That means suppose I give the answer that my weight is 57 kg. So it is numerically expressible information. So this information is classified as quantitative data, or some informations are only categorized, suppose, which cannot be expressed numerically. Suppose, for example, beauty, honesty, these are classified, just we can classify. So there is no numerical value to express amount of beauty or amount of honesty. So these are classified as qualitative data or qualitative informations. And some data are classified as primary data. This means the data or informations which are collected by the investigator himself for a specific purpose is called primary data. These are first-hand data. For example, census data, and some informations are collected from different sources, and these data are called secondary data. Already these are collected by someone, and we have taken the information from sources, and these are called secondary data. And some informations are also collected based on geographical location, and these data are called spatial or geographical data. And sometimes we come across some informations which are collected based on time period. It may be daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, yearly basis, and these data are called chronological or time series data. So, time series data means data or information which are recorded based on the time period is called time series data. Suppose we are record the information of rice production yearly basis. These are called time series data. Suppose we may record the information of road accident month-wise, and these are also called as time series data. Suppose we may record the information of some sales. These are also called time series data, and sometimes time series data are also called historical data because we have studied the past information of the data, so it is called also historical data. And time series data has tremendous applications in different fields. These are not limited. So time series has tremendous applications in economics for export or import any commodity, also agricultural production, in business, industry, engineering, and meteorology, marine science, oceanography. Also, time series has applications in medical science also. So, some applications of time different fields. So, in agriculture, we have record the of rice production, tea production. So, based on the time period, yearly basis, generally we have collect the information of production of any commodity on yearly basis. It is also time series data. Actually, time series data are recorded at a regular or uniform intervals. Also, time series has applications in rainfall forecasting, rainfall prediction, weather forecasting, and business also time series has widely used. So, selling of ice cream is not uniform over a period for the uniform for the year. Sales of ice cream increases during the summer seasons. Similarly, sales of umbrella increases during the rainy season, and sales of some woolen cloths also increases during the winter seasons, and sales of particular medicine increases during a particular disease period. So all the informations are recorded based on the time period. So these are called time series data, and time series data has tremendous applications in these fields. So next, what are the main objectives of time series? Why we have to study the time series data? So the primary objective of any time series data is to study the behavior of the data or information. We have to study the previous information, and based on this previous information we can give some idea and we can predict what will be happening in future. So in statistics, prediction is called forecast. And the components of time series, components means the changes which are occurred in time, and these observations are affected by some economic, social, natural, industrial, and political reasons. And these reasons are called components of time series. And these components are classified into 4 categories. These are trend component. Trend means over a persistent year for a long-term movement. And seasonal component means season-wise. That means some a particular period. Component occurrence at a particular period, it is classified as seasonal component. And some are fluctuation. Also, we have observed some fluctuation in some situations. These are called cyclical component. And some irregular or random component also occur in time series, and these are called random component or irregular component. So, what do you mean by trend or secular trend? So, the general tendency of a data set to increase or decrease or remain stable over a period of time is called trend or secular trend or long-term movement of a data series. So, sometimes we come across different informations and their tendency increase for a long term or decrease for a longer period. These are called trend. For example, an upward tendency is generally observed in population growth. There are 2 types of trend. One is linear trend and another is non-linear trend. Linear trend occurs when the time series values occur more or less clustered around a straight line is called linear trend. When the observations occur more or less a cluster around a straight line is called linear trend, and when the observations or time series values are not around the straight line, they are far from the straight line, these are called non-linear trend. Next is the cyclical variations. Cyclical variations occurs when the observations are fluctuate. Suppose in business, so business growth is not uniform, sometimes upward and sometimes downward movements in a time series, and this is called cyclical variations. So cyclical variations are recurrent upward or downward movements, sometimes upward and sometimes downward. And this period of cycle is more than 1 year are called cyclical variations. Also, these variations are not regular as seasonal variations. Suppose the production of jute in Bangladesh, which is influenced by weather, socioeconomic conditions, farmers' personal views. So the production of jute is not uniform, sometimes upward and sometimes downward. So this is called cyclical variations. In business, there is a business cycle. So this business cycle, see here. So business is not uniform for a particular period, sometimes upward, sometimes downward. It is fluctuated due to the national income, GDP growth, etc. So धीरे धीरे business बढ़ने लगता है, and this is the peak point. That means business growth is high, and sometimes due to some reasons, business slowly downward portion, and sometimes it is called depression because depression means business downward direction में जाता है, and after a particular period it is also increases, then increase maximum point, this is called peak point, again it is downward portion, so this is called recessions. Next is the seasonal variations. Already I have told that occurrence of any observation also influenced by some specific time period or some specific causes. Seasonal variation also influenced by two causes. One is natural cause and another is called man-made cause. Suppose selling of umbrella is high during the rainy seasons. Selling of ice cream increases during the summer seasons. These causes are influenced by natural cause. So due to natural cause, some sales increases. And suppose during the festival seasons, selling of clothes increases. So these are called man-made, or festive seasons, marriage time, some sales production increases. These are due to man-made causes. So seasonal variations of a time series is a pattern of change that recurs regularly over time. Seasonal variations are usually due to the differences between seasons and to festive occasions, as I have already mentioned. Time series graphs may be prepared using an adjustment for seasonal variations. Next is the irregular variations. And irregular variations is not occur regularly. They are purely random and unpredictable and are due to factors which are beyond the control of human hands is called irregular variations. Suppose fluctuation in agricultural data are fluctuate due to floods, drought, etc. And fluctuation in the price of goods due to war and fluctuations of selling of medicines due to a particular disease are irregular variations. These are the pictures of irregular variations, sometimes upward, sometimes downward, and sometimes again upward, sometimes downward fluctuation. And for analyzing any time series data, we have different models. These are additive model, multiplicative model, and mixed model. With the 4 components, as I have already mentioned, trend, seasonal variation, cyclical variation, and random variation, we have 3 models: additive model, multiplicative model, and mixed model. So this is the first model. This is the additive model. We may set the additive model as we have at all the components where CT will have positive or negative values whether we are in an above normal or below normal phase. When it is upward direction, we may have positive value, and when it is downward direction, we may have negative values. And this is the multiplicative model. And here we multiply all the components of time series, and it is multiplicative model. And third model is the mixed model. And mixed model written as with the combination of additive and multiplicative model. These are mixed model. And when we have to use additive and multiplicative model. So in many time series data, the amplitude of both the seasonal and irregular variations increase as the level of the trend. In this situation, a multiplicative model is usually appropriate. And when the amplitude of both the seasonal and irregular variations do not change as the level of the trend rises or falls, in such situations, an additive model is appropriate. And there are different methods for measuring trend. These are the graphical method, semi-average method, moving average method, and least square method. There are different methods of measuring trend. Here, I only discuss the graphical method. This is the simplest method. Just we have, see this example. Suppose you have some information regarding sales, year-wise informations. You have some information regarding sales for 7 years. So in graphical method, to study the trend, just we plot the observations against the year. So, and from this plot, we may give or we may get some idea about the sales, whether it is upward or downward. See this picture. So just in x-axis, we have written the years, and in y-axis, we have write the values of sales. Just we have plot the values here. Just in 1980, sales is 85, and in 1981, sales is 110, and by joining these values, we get a line, sales line, and from this line, we may get some idea about the sales. This is the trend line observations by graphical method. And sometimes we have some queries. Why we have to study time series data? What are the importance of time series data? So in studying time series data, it helps us in understanding the real activities of the past. Why? By observing the data or information over a period of time, we can easily understand, we can easily get the information what changes have taken place in the past. And such type of analysis will be very important in predicting the future behavior. Next, the time series helps in planning the future activities. That means future operations. What will be done in future? The analysis of the past performance of the series, any series, maybe sales. It helps to know the idea of the forecast the future. That means we may predict what will be observed or what will be happening in the upcoming days. Time series forecasts are useful in planning different policies, government policies, production, pricing, etc. And time series analysis helps to investigation to compare or to present activities with the past performance. With the help of time series analysis, the actual performance can be compared with the expected performance and the cause of variation can be analyzed. Suppose the expected sales of a particular commodity, suppose in 2003 is expected is 6,000, but the actual sales for that particular period is suppose 4,000. So one may analyze, one may study why this shortfall in achievement, why we have expected sales 6,000 for a particular period, but our actual sale is only 4,000. So one have to study why this shortfall in achievement, why our shortfall in sales. So by observing this time series data, one may can idea why shortfall in sales. So another important terms is in time. Is it visible? Is it visible now? Okay. Okay. We may come across some situations why we have to study time series. So by studying the time series observations, it helps in understanding the real activities of the past. By observing the data over a period of time, one easily understand what changes have taken place in the past. So such type of analysis will be very important in predicting future behavior. Time series also helps in planning future activities, future operations. The analysis of the past performance of the series, one can forecast the future, one can predict what will be happening in future. So time series forecasts are useful in planning different policies and different pricing policies, also production. So prediction is very important for formulating different policies, production, And by studying the time series, it helps to compare the present activities with the past performance. And the actual performance can be compared with the expected performance, and the cause of variation can be analyzed. Suppose the expected sales of a particular commodity in 2010 is expected to be rupees 6,000, but the actual sales is suppose rupees 4,000. So the businessman can investigate why the shortfall in sales, what are the causes for this shortfall in the sales. So one can investigate, or one can compare the expected performance with the actual performance. Next, one of the important application of time series is forecasting. Forecasting means predicting a future event. What will be observed in future? Forecasting means what will be observed or what will be happen in future. By observing the past data, the past information, we can give some idea what will be happen in future. Suppose by observing the road accident data for up to 2022, we can give an idea what will be happen in next 10 years or next 20 years. We can predict, or we can give some idea, and these ideas are very important for government, businessmen, and so on. So forecasting is widely used in business management. It helps to determine where service is offered and the locations at which products are to produce. So in business, time series is widely used, and businessmen can get an idea where the service will be provided and which products to be produced. Based on the previous sales, businessmen give most important which products are to be produced. Forecasting also important in many marketing decisions. Forecasting helps to determine advertising expenditure, new promotion of a product, or changes in pricing policy. And application of forecasting is observed in finance and risk management. Generally, shareholders in the financial asset are concerned about the returns from their investment. So, by analyzing the past observation, one can get an idea their returns from the investment. So, it is important in financial risk management. Application of forecasting is also observed in economic activities. And forecasting helps the government and policymakers to know the idea of gross domestic products, population growth, unemployment pattern, interest rate, inflation, deflation pattern, job growth, production pattern, and consumption pattern. Forecasting also observed in demographic activities. So, forecasting of birth, death, and migration patterns are important measures of a country. So, forecasting also important in demographic activities. And to study the forecasting event, we have different models. One is ARIMA model. ARIMA model is most widely used for any forecasting information, forecasting data. And when we have a yearly data, we may use ARIMA model, exponential smoothing model, dynamic harmonic regression model. And when we have seasonal data, we may use SARIMA model to know the fluctuation in the particular season. With this, I conclude my presentation. Thank you, sir. Hello, sir.
Dear participants, please kindly discuss with resource person. If you have any query, come ahead. So I think there is no doubt in here because Madam explained it step by step. Now I request the chief organizer of the series, PL, please come ahead and have some words for the session.
Thank you, Prashant sir. And today's resource person.
Unmute sir yourself. Unmute.
Thank you, Prashant sir. And today's resource person, Dr. Bornali Dutta madam, who is from Assam, and she, from last 35 minutes, she talked on importance of time series analysis. As we are knowing that mathematics is not the part of entertainment. As daily series, we get to listen some stories, some evidences. But mathematics is the branch, statics, which he have said just 1 hour 40 minutes continuously. There was no entertainment, but it's full of knowledge and information. What the time analysis or this series topic is important to our daily life in the market, also for the forecast, for the shareholders. So this type of importance of time series analysis is everywhere. Also, lastly, she have said that if there are road accidents in a year, government data can be used through this to find the difficulties why the accidents are occur, to solve road problems or anything. So, uh, prediction, to analyze for a growth of a business or market or any institute, we should do analysis through this series known as importance of time series analysis. She is a teacher teaching time series analysis and statistics to the institutes. Thank you, madam.
Excuse me, sir. One
Yes.
minute. Excuse me, sir. In my PhD work, I have used road accident data to identify some month. Actually, I have used road accident data in my PhD work.
Thank you, because it's new topic for us. Road topic data is not the part of research as we think, but you supported that this data is useful also, and the analysis can be useful to save the lives, though those who are losing their lives on the road because of what mistakes they have. Thank you for introducing new topic to us, and uh, this time analysis is used in all aspects of our life, business, and any forecast, useful for the farmers also, businessmen also. So thank you madam for sharing your information. First of all, I was saying that what you should explain about this topic, but you with your ppt, really you said the importance of this topic throughout this your speech. Thank you madam. In future also will be invited for such
Thank
different
you, sir.
topics. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all those participants from my college, Dr. Jamuntrao Kadam sir, Dr. Balwant Gogre sir, Dr. Sanjay Kale sir, Praveen Udge sir, and all those who are joined here. I think Dole madam is there. So all the participants, those who are joined from my college, IQC coordinator, and also the participants, those joined from your side because of sending link to your friends and colleagues. Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now to the work camp. Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya class 2 is organized world record series 2. Today we covered 207th day of the series, and the keynote speaker for this session was on Dr. Dutta ma'am. Ma'am explained very sincerely the what series analysis, where ma'am really given the justice to the topic, explain what is the time series analysis mean, the different components of time series, how to do time series analysis, different objectives, and how it used to analyze data, the importance of time series, and forecasting different methods. Now these points you covered, madam, very nicely. Language. Really, it was very informative session. We understood a lot, even though the topic is new session. But really, you done the justice to the topic. So thank you so much on behalf of the organizing committee members. I thank the chief organizer and the ideal principal of Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya Ausa, Honorable M. Ambedkar sir. Also thanks faculty members of my college, Dr. Anita Dole, Dr. Prakash Karar sir, coordinator Dr. Sanjay Kale sir, Dr. K. Kadam sir, as well as Dr. sir, and Honorable Praveen Wood sir, and others. And regularly the participants in Chetana Arora madam, Visasagar sir, Dr. Devir Singh. So thanks all once again so much. Now I request you all to fill the feedback link which is given in the chat box. With the kind permission of the chief organizer, I declare today's session is over. Thank you once again, Bornali madam, for paying your valuable time and your wonderful speech. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We are fortunate that few resource persons are from Assam frequently joining. So you can try to send this knowledge of webinar series to your friends, colleagues, and relatives, and those who want to share the knowledge in on this dais. So
Sir,
you can.
Dr. Debojyoti Bora informed me the sessions actually.
Yes, yes, yes. You can support us by sending the information to others to join as a resource person. Thank you,
Thank you,
madam.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Good night to all. Thank you.
Good night. Good night.